Hi everyone, welcome back to Stay in Your Lane. I'm your host, John Maley, brought to you by Triple T Transport. Today we've got one of my favorite guests, Joe Lombardo, with us. Joe, how's it going?
Good, John. Good afternoon. How's everything going?
Good, definitely good. We could use some more sunshine, but you know, clouds and rain are part of the forecast at times. Um, Today's subject matter, digital brokerage or people brokerage?
Ooh,
Try and challenge you with this one.
I'm an old people guy, and I know you're a people guy too. But digital brokerage, it's getting all the press and it's getting all the venture capital money. I mean,
Okay.
you've got some big players out there. The Convoys, the Ubers, some other folks, and C.H. Robinson. A lot of the other they're developing digital platforms and have developed them.
I think at the end of the day, there's still people involvement.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I think the digital there's probably a place for the digital platform. I wouldn't say it's across the industry. When something doesn't happen, there has to be somebody to reach out to, someone to call.
Yeah,
Definitely going to get some carrier perspective on it. Maybe talk to some that have been on both sides of the fence.
sure.
What I've gathered to date is the details are lost in the digital. So I think it's almost a capacity thing in some markets. Whereas if that's where they have to go to get an option to load, they do. But when that's not maybe not the market we've been in the past 18 months, leading up to what we're seeing from a declining market now in shipping volume, I think when there's an option to communicate and negotiate for more, I think that those platforms struggle
Yeah.
from what we're hearing. But I don't have a large amount of experience with it. I think everything has a perspective.
Yeah, I agree. And again, if you look at it, I mean, the transaction cost has got to be lower on the digital side. I mean, you're taking some people out of the equation. Again, hopefully shifting those people to more value added duties. But so as the transaction cost drops, which is a key for companies like a Robinson and probably even companies like yourself that deal in high volume of transactions. I mean, there's some real money there if you can drive that cost down. But again, what do you give up? You know, touch points with your customers. So, I mean, it's a real balance.
Yeah, I think it depends on what the commodity is,
Hmm.
the volumes and the commodities. I don't necessarily think that the food service 2 to 4 hour window receiving appointment scenario, multi-stop. I don't know that that really is the market for the digital brokerage. I see a lot of places where it seems to struggle in that regard.
Right.
I think that we would probably be surprised to hear from the players in that market that they had to reach out and actually get people involvement to try and make it through the capacity crunch.
Sure. Sure.
And I think that would be an honest perspective that they had to figure out some way to either bring in and hire people and try and affect some change in a timely manner. But time will tell. I think if you're shipping things that aren't time sensitive, I think that probably lends itself more towards that. Um, but similar to autonomous trucks, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, technology's coming. The question is where does it fit?
Right. These digital platforms, they do great with dry van loads, one pick, one drop. You know, 600-800 mile length of haul. It's probably right in their wheelhouse. But if you throw it in the complexities that you deal with every day and other brokers, multi-stop, multi-drop, appointments, refrigeration, all that stuff. You know, can you do that? With a driver having a phone in his hand, trying to communicate with what's going on. So yeah, I would agree that there's a place for it, and what is that place?
Yeah, definitely. like I said, I've spoken to carriers and drivers that have done some business under those platforms. But when there was a better opportunity elsewhere, they took off and went to get better revenue.
Right.
And when they knew that they could, they did. Now, I think what inevitably happens at some level in the industry is as times get leaner, I don't know that there is a model that has enough of a people footprint to not drive a lot from an unemployment perspective.
Well, we talked earlier on a podcast about the spot market versus the contract market. Maybe the spot market might be a better place for the digital platform because guys, looking at your phone, yeah, I could take that load. Boom, where if you in the contract part of your business, you probably don't want to give that up. You want that personal touch.
Well, but I don't know that that's a sustainable enough market, right? I mean, we see the spot market come and go depending on
Right.
capacity and freight rates and many other parts to that equation. But we see the spot market not as the consistent market.
Right.
So if the digital market, when trucks are tight and spot market freight is plenty, I think is when a lot of the digital companies, software, app-based brokerages, just download the app and get set up and pull
Right.
the loads and do everything through the app. I think they suffered immensely due to tight capacity.
Yeah.
And what they were doing wasn't working then because the freight rates weren't competitive, right? You think that it's like a TMS system. They're great. They save a lot of data, allow reporting, allow communication. You don't need maybe such a robust transportation network and department in your company, but they don't build relationships.
Right.
So I think that there's a place for the digital brokerage and the people brokerage. The long-term question we're all going to watch is, what's it going to be in 5 years and 10 years?
Right. Do you ever see digital being part of your offerings, John? No.
Never say never, but at this point in time, I think there's a technology advantage to an extent in some markets, but as of today, we don't see that being maybe our niche.
Okay.
But we're the value service people, right? I mean that's
Right.
that's our MO. So most people, it's like rail. I asked one of my shippers, 20 years ago, what do you think if we were to get in the rail industry and intermodal? And he said, we equate you with service. If you got into the rail business, then we would always be concerned that, where was our shipment?
Mm.
Was it on a truck or was it on a railroad? I think it depends on many things. What segment? I know there's brokers that are just international, that do
Sure.
most of what they do is international brokering. So I think there's different niches for everybody, and don't know which one that you're going to have to adapt or change to be successful in long term. But as of now, we don't have an app that does everything. We're still people based and communication based and service based. I think when it gets to that point, you become numbers
Yeah.
at some level.
Well, you got to keep it on your radar because again, things change in this business.
Absolutely, it's always on the radar. We pay attention, but thank you for the perspective, Joe.
All right.
All right, you have a great day.
You too, John. You take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.